EUCS Students Workplace Interviews. Hello and welcome to EUCS Students Workplace Interviews, Episode 7. This is Amrei speaking.
And this is Sarah. And our special guest today is Matic. Welcome to our show. Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the invitation to your now not anymore so new podcasts as I've seen. So my name is Matic, as you said. I am also studying EUCS, currently finishing the 5th or entering the 6th semester. So yeah, I don't know, what else would you like to know? Just ask me.
We would like to know about your job. What do you work as and what your tasks are there?
Okay, so I am working at the Federal Union of European Nationalities, shortly FUEN, which is an international NGO or non-governmental organization that deals with minority rights. So it's basically an umbrella organization that represents over 100 different member organizations coming from different minority communities around Europe. The organization has its main headquarters or offices in Flensburg, but also we have offices in Berlin, Brussels, also in Romania. So we are quite international as a team as well. I work there already since a couple of years, so my story was maybe a bit different than the story of other fellow student colleagues, because actually I started to study at the EUF because of my job in a way, because I decided to move to Flensburg for this job. And I was eager also to study something that is related to the field, because I work in this field already for a couple of years, as I said. So basically this was actually different kind of connection. So basically I came to EUCS through my job in a way. And when I moved to Flensburg then to work there permanently, I also then subscribed, or I applied for the studies, and I joined the studies.
What are your tasks in the job? How does a normal day for you look like?
So basically currently, my position is called project coordinator. So I I coordinate different tasks within the organization. We are quite, let's say, diverse team as well. And of course also with diverse tasks. Primarily we represent the minorities on this European level towards different stakeholders and political decision makers. And of course, primarily we want to give the voice of these usually underrepresented communities belonging to ethnical or linguistic or national minorities. So in my day-to-day job, I basically keep the contact with the organizations. I am also responsible for the coordination of one particular working group that deals with Slavic-speaking minorities or minority communities. And so basically, my job is, let's say, quite bureaucratic in this sense. I sit in the office. I am sending emails. I'm in contact, whether now in Corona times, through different communication tools or phone or so. And I am developing then different projects with them, which is the more interesting part of my job, or at least before Corona it was interesting because of course you also then meet people when you organize projects with them, different either workshops or events and so on. So yeah, I would say my job is very diverse as well, so it's everything between planning and implementing, and then also afterwards, after the implemented projects, reporting and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I satisfied your question, but how detailed you want to go, but I think that's pretty much it.
Yes, thank you for this insight on your tasks and also how the tasks changed in the last year during the pandemic, as you mentioned. Yeah, thank you for this insight for this important and interesting job.
And since you already started working at the FUEN before you started studying, then how did you get this job, and why did you become especially interested in minority rights protection?
Yeah, so basically I was part of I am part of a Carinthian Slovenian community in Austria, which is a relatively small minority in the very south of Austria, where I was also doing my high school. And so you can imagine that a bit similar then to the situation in the Danish-German border region where Flensburg is situated, that we also have in Flensburg quite large Danish-speaking minority, which has also their own, let's say, educational system and civil society, cultural organizations, and so on. And it's a bit similar in my case. So I graduated from a high school that belongs to a Slovenian minority in Austria. So basically, from my early age on, I was interested in topics of minorities. Like if you are being part of this, you also kind of automatically deal with activism, whether political or educational. So you quite with an early age become active. And so was in my case that I was active in different, let's say, civil society organizations. And yeah, then there was some coincidences, or like how I also became then, how I started working basically at my current job, which is basically just on top of all my activism that happened before that as a youth activist, let's say.
And do you think you benefit from studying EUCS in your job, or do you feel the other way around, that your working experience benefits you while you study?
No, I think both ways. I would say both what you mentioned. I think that, of course, I mean, as I said, I moved to Flensburg, and then I looked also for studies that go along, and I got also very interested in this study program because exactly it deals with a topic that I also deal with, which is connected to Europe, building European society, or questioning European society and everything what is connected with it. So it's very interdisciplinary as a study program, and so is also my job. So for sure I have brought many experiences already from my job to my studies, but on the other hand it's also the other way around. As I said, also in our study program we have topics or seminars and subjects that I really very much benefit from, that also help me at my job. For example, I don't know, European law was certainly something that I dealt with before, but maybe now I got even a better overview. Or also when we had classes about education in Europe, languages in Europe, but at the end all the topics are so interconnected, that in every single subject at our study program you can find something that I can relate also to minorities, be it migration waves or issues of migration, even the economical perspective. And so that's why I'm really happy, because I believe that you always need to consider all the aspects and all the different factors that lead to, at the end, some product or a common society or goals. As such, I think my job and the studies are really a very good match.
And now that the sixth semester is coming up and the bachelor is almost over for you, do you have a plan for the future? Presumably you will stay in your job at the FUEN.
I would say that's $1 million or euro question right now in the current situation of corona pandemics. Well, I mean, yeah, I am very much looking forward also to be at my job and to continue working in topics that I like. And as the coronavirus is a challenge for everyone, so is also a challenge for our working field. You never know what other new topics will be there at the table that maybe also come and you don't expect them. Yeah, I mean, I would very much like to stay in this European field, let's say, in this interdisciplinary field. Whether it will go more political or more in the NGO sector, I really cannot say, but I'm interested in every aspect of this common European institutional world. Let's see. But maybe even in the future, you cannot say I will go back to the local level, which I also like. The grassroots activism is also something that I grew up with. So I also don't know, maybe at a certain point I will be then again more interested in that, or maybe I will be kind of not forced, but like because of the corona pandemics, this will change and become a new reality. Maybe, we don't know. I would say, yeah, right now it's more or less like a day-to-day planning, and the future will come, and yeah, let's see how it will look like.
Right. Thank you very much for your answers and this interview. I feel like it was really interesting and really insightful.
Yes, thank you very much for being our guest. And I think it was really beautiful to hear how EUCS and the knowledge you gained there can contribute to in such a meaningful way to society. So I think many of our students, of our fellow students, hope to get a dream job like you. So thank you for being our guest, and hope to hear you next time.
Thanks a lot also to you too, and I hope that your podcast will continue and will inspire also the current and the future students of our studying program. So thanks to both of you.